you were asked to attempt 2 problems, correct? Did you try it?
4 and 5.
It's 4 and 5, right? From the homework, right? Just 2 problems, that's all it was. So let's go through them. So first thing we're going to get out of the way is we did the quadratic formula. Okay, I will always give you the quadratic formula. But it's kind of easy if you like little songy things. It's x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, which looks pretty intimidating when you look at it, but it has a whole bunch of a, b's, and c's in there. It also has a 4, which is a constant. It has a 2, which is a constant. Okay? You have the plus minus, and then the plus minus tells you you have 2 answers. And this allows you to solve a quadratic that doesn't factor. Okay? If you plug this in and it factored, you would have a perfect square underneath the square root. Okay? So this works on all quadratics. Sometimes you might get a perfect square underneath the quadratic sign, which you take the square root of it and it would give it to you, which means it would have factored. Okay, so I had asked you to try this one. 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. Agreed? The very first thing we wanted to do is we label a as 2, b as 5, and c as 3. And I think everyone is pretty okay knowing that. Agreed? Anyone stuck on the ABC labeling? We've done it quite a bit. Everyone feel comfortable with it? Okay. So then, what we have to do, and I'll tell you, if you shortcut the quadratic formula, there are things going to be goofed up. I'll wait till Dan puts his phone away and Josh puts his phone away. Thanks. I didn't see anybody else. So if you have your phone and you were using it and I didn't catch you, shame. All right. So if you shortcut this, you might make errors. Okay. So first thing I have a negative because it's a negative b. Agreed? What is my b value?
Negative 5.
So it's going to be a 5, right? So I'm plugging the 5 in. Notice it becomes negative now because the negative was already there. If our b value was a negative value, it would be negative 5, which would have made it a positive 5. Does that make sense? So then I'm going to go plus or minus square root b squared, so 5 squared, which is 25, minus 4 times a times c.
Minus 24. 25 minus 24.
It might be, definitely. All over 2 times a, which is 2 times 2. So x equals, and again, my friends, be patient with this. Don't rush it, because their arithmetic is the hardest part of algebra. Okay? I'll say that again. Arithmetic, what you learn in elementary and middle school, is the hardest part of algebra. So take your time on it. Don't force it. Don't be like, oh, we can't waste the paper. You'll be fine. So 5 squared is 25. And then we're going to do this. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. All divided by 4. Agree? Well, I'm not going to pull anything out right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve it. So I have x equals negative 5 plus or minus root 1 over 4. And root 1 is? 1. So the square root of 1 is 1. And this gives me 2 answers. Okay? The first answer gives me is negative 5 plus 1 over 4, which is going to give me negative 4 over 4, which gives me negative 1. And my second answer is going to be negative 5 minus 1 over 4, which gives me negative 6 over 4, which reduces to negative 3 over 2. These are my 2 answers. These are my two answers. So, my friends, if we had graphed our parabola, it's sitting on the x and y axis. It's opening up. The two locations that it will cross the x-axis, the horizontal axis, are at -1, 0 and at -3/2, 0. Look at that. I asked Dan to put his phone away, which he did, and now he's texting on his watch. You're not going to the dean. I'm not sending you anywhere.
No, but I am. They're probably going to come get me.
What?
Yeah.
Just run.
Yeah. I'm not doing that, honestly.
I had a student years ago who had to get escorted to the dean.
Yeah.
And so they came and got him. As soon as they got in the hallway, the kid ran. I thought it was hilarious. They had a quarantine? Yikes. Okay, so my friends, this quadratic formula is a very valuable tool, but a lot of people want to shortcut it. They want to go from the first step here, and they try and do a whole bunch of arithmetic in their head. If you're a math prodigy and you do all the arithmetic in your head, great. But if you're making errors every time we go over the answers, you might want to slow it down. Okay? Slow it down, get the right answer, rather than speed it up and get the wrong answer. Speed it up, get the wrong answer. You don't want the bad scores on the quizzes. Okay? Any questions on this problem? I actually think we might have worked that one yesterday, I think. We did? Oh, okay. Cool.
I don't know if it was the exact same, but it was similar.
It was very similar, right? Okay. Because I recognized the square root of 1. I don't remember the rest. All right. So the second problem I wanted us to try was this one, which I believe it was number 5, which is x squared plus 2x minus 13 equals 0. And again, the quadratic formula is x is equal to -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's supposed to be a b. Oh, I tried to make it better and Stirrup made it worse. Okay. All right. So my a value on this one is a 1. My b value is a 2. My c value is -13. Hey, friends, quick question. Let's say the b value is not showing up. The x value is not there. If it's not there, what number has to go in for it? No. If nothing's there, what is nothing in math?
0.
0. If the c value is missing?
0. 1.
0. If there's no c value. So if you're missing a value to your problem, you just plug 0 in for that appropriate letter. Okay? If the a value is missing, you don't do the quadratic formula. Because if you just have like 2x minus 13 equals 0, then you just add 13 divided by 2. Okay? But, so let's plug into our equation. So I get x equals -2, because our b value is 2, plus or minus square root b squared, which will be 4 eventually, minus 4, which that's our constant. Our a value is 1. Our c value is -13. All divided by...
Off that 1.
Do what?
What I did is I just crossed off that 1 because I know that 4 times.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I gotcha. And then over 2 times a, our a value is 1, and I'm making up math as I go along. There we go. Do I have it right? Okay. So x equals -2 plus or minus 2 squared is 4. And then let's do the math. -4 times 1 is -4. -4 times -13 is going to be positive. Is it? Let's see. 52, right? 52?
Yeah.
Is that right? All over 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. So let's break up the math. -2 plus or minus root 54 over 2. Now, what I would do at this point, right here,
Is you can turn it to 1 over...
do what? What did I do?
You can take
Oh, wait, it's not 54. It's 56. Oh, I'm glad I got someone looking out for me. That's a 56. I can't even, I told you arithmetic's the hardest part of algebra. I can't even add 4 and 52 together to get the right number. Like, how does he expect us to do it? Because you're smarter than me. All right, I want to break 56 down. 7 and 8? I like that. Okay, 7 and 8. Can I break 8 down?
negative 4 and 2.
Breaks down 7 times 4 times 2. I could break the 4 down to 2 times 2. But what's my perfect square in there?
4.
4. So what's the square root of 4? 2. So I have 2 root 14. So 2 root 14, I'm going to take this and I'm going to replace root 56. Okay, so notice I did it off to the side a little bit. Okay? So I'm going to get x equals negative 2 plus or minus 2 root 14 all over 2.
You can change that to 1, negative 1, plus minus 1, below 1.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. This 2, and this 2 can all reduce down to being a 1. So my answer to this is negative 1 plus or minus square root 14. It's technically over 1, but we don't have to put that. Those are two answers. These are called irrational answers. The square root of 14 is a decimal that will never end, never repeat, never have a pattern to it. It goes on and on and on. So this is an exact answer. We've talked about exact answers. Exact answers in math, in computer language, allow for our devices to work much better. Now Josh is on his phone. Not you. Josh and Bob. Gotcha. Okay, so again, exact answers are definitely something that makes our lives simpler because we use so much technology. Okay? The more and more technology you use, the better and better it's going to get. The faster and faster it's going to be. The more and more locations that it's going to work in. And I'd say in the next couple of years, cell service is going to work down in here in this bunker of a classroom that has no windows. Okay? So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that they are working on to make better and better and better. Okay? Imagine being in the true basement of a building, like one of those big buildings downtown Denver. You know, it might be, you know, you're going to those parking garages that goes many floors underground. You go to the zoo, I don't even know how far that parking garage goes to the zoo. I've gone like 2 levels down. And then they got the one light that's barely working. So you're trying to navigate. I don't know. I don't know if y'all been to the zoo or not. So, friends, questions how we just did these. Patience is your friend. Okay? Don't try to rush these problems. So let's continue with our notes. The note page that you want to find is this. Okay? If you don't have one of these that I gave you the Monday, come on up and grab one. If you need one, I got extras. You guys don't have these for Monday?
I think I was here Monday.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Now you have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
Roger Dodger. Oh, the 2 problems?
Yeah.
You're good. Appreciate you. All right. You ready, friends? We've already done this first one. These are already been worked out. This one works out to this.
We did these a while ago.
Yeah, we did these. This is just old stuff. So this is like it started yesterday's notes. So just in case you didn't have it, you can have it now. All right. Let's see. That was what we just worked. We did this one yesterday. Okay, that was done as notes yesterday. Did I do this one yesterday? I thought I did it. Someone confirm for me? I did? Was that a yes? Okay. But I don't think I did this one. Okay. So, let's go ahead and work this one out before I do anything. I'm going to put my quadratic formula. Let's see, x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. The more and more you write it down, the more and more you're going to remember it. And I can assure you, there are times that they might not give this to you. I will put it on the test for you, or I'll put it up on the board. But I can't guarantee that will be given to you in geometry, or algebra 2, or college algebra. Bless you. Okay, I can't guarantee that. Okay, I can guarantee what's going to take place in my class, but I can't guarantee the others. All right, so friends, do you agree there's a 1 out front?
Yeah.
So my A value is 1. What's my B value?
3.
Negative 3. What's my C value?
1.
It's also 1. Oh, so we have an A and a C value that are the same. Okay, let's plug it into our equation. X is equal to negative 3.
3.
Let's stop there. Why is it negative 3?
Because it's a negative b and b is negative.
Yeah, because we already had that negative right there, and this happened to be negative here, we're going to get negative right in a row. Okay? What's negative? You could. And I bet you that might be something that people will shortcut quickly. And that's totally
If
fine.
you see 2 negatives right together, you just say, just make them 2 positives.
Making them 2 positives. Now, I'm going to do something here for a reason. Okay. I just did something that is a little tiny bit different. And the only reason I did it is because I have a negative. Okay? Now, I want to show you why I put this in parentheses. Okay? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you because this is an error so many students make because you trust technology so well. So let's say you go on to a graphing calculator. Let's see if we can get that to open up. Let's say you go on to a calculator. Okay, I have 78 days left. Next. Come on, baby. There it goes. All right. So again, let's go back to this. I put negative 3 in parentheses for a reason, and here is the reason. Ready? I'll quit out of that. If I go negative 3 squared, everyone agree that negative times negative is positive?
It usually doesn't do that on the calculator.
No, it always does it on a calculator. It does it wrong on the calculator because this is squaring the 3, not the negative. So in order to put this in the calculator correctly, that's what we all know.
What if you just do negative 3 times
Oh, if I want negative 3 times negative 3? Oops. No. Negative 3 times negative 3. That's going to work.
yeah, that's fine.
So that will work. But when you square it, you all know that if you take 2 negative numbers and multiply together, you get a positive. But then when you get to your calculator, the logical thinking that you have had is, well, the calculator must be right. No, you have to group it. So that's why I am grouping. That's why I group this 3 up here. Because you know why? You're going to be using your calculators on this problem. Okay? And that's fine. But I just want you to realize that negative 3 squared on your calculator gives you the incorrect answer. So you want to group it. Okay? Now, squaring just a regular, number that's not negative on your calculator is going to do it correctly. But as soon as you put that negative sign in there, things get goofed up. So please watch out. So I can't emphasize this enough. And, there's a lot of times when I'm grading a test or quiz, that's really where the number one error is going to start taking place, is when your B value is negative, you trust your calculator too much, you know in your mind that a negative times a negative is positive, but you feel that you found some anomaly in math that this is the one and only number that if you make it negative and square it, happens to be also negative. It doesn't work. You all understand that it works when you do it just in your minds, but you trust technology too much. The gray matter in your head is a really good processor. Why should you do it when something else will do it for me? What if you don't have that thing with you? Well, I always have my phone. What if your phone is dead? How many times are you guys charging in here? Anyone charging today? One? Okay, every class I have, someone's charging their phone for the most part. I always have my phone. Yeah, but you walk into a math classroom and you charge it. So don't tell me that you will always have your phone and it's always ready to go. Okay? You know as well as I, the batteries on these phones, we can wear them out quickly. And you guys are using a lot of different apps that draw that power down quickly. So the argument, I will always have my phone with me, you're probably right. Turn it on. Oh, the battery's dead. You know what a dead phone is? It's a paperweight. Hold that paper down. Okay? But your mind is working. It's processing. Don't turn it into a marshmallow where you're like, I'm just going to rely on technology and it's going to tell me what to do. It drives me crazy. People have these, the watches, which you think are cool, but it's like, they'll look at their watch. Oh, I have to get more steps today. You need an instrument to tell you to go walk? That's pathetic. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, if I'm like watching TV or something, it's a beautiful day, I'll go out and work outside. I'll go walk, I'll go get on my bike, go work out. I don't need an instrument to tell me to do it. Don't turn your minds into marshmallow, please. I do too. They go good on a graham cracker. Once you heated them up and put them on a little bit of chocolate, you squish it together, you get that smart. Oh, summertime's coming. And that's fun to do. I agree. All right. I'm not making fun of marshmallows. It just doesn't need to be your brain. Your brain is the consistency of cream cheese right now, not marshmallow. I kid you not. Okay.
You didn't finish that last one.
Well, I didn't. Holy okay, good. All right. Negative 3. We all know is? Positive 3. I just went off on a tangent about negative 3 squared. Negative 3 quantity squared is what? 9. Minus
4.
Right? Because negative 4 times 1 times 1, negative 4. Hey, what's 9 subtract 4? This is my exact answer. Yeah, I can't break that 5 down at all. Okay, this is 2 answers because there's a plus minus. Yeah.
What if you take that 9 out before you subtract it?
No, you can't. It has to stay under there. You have to do the arithmetic before anything comes out of a square root. I realize it is a perfect square. You're totally right. But unfortunately, that minus 4 is throwing a rock in the game. Okay? All right, my friends. This problem on your left, on that side,
Is that a C?
it's missing a C, but it's equal to what? Negative 2. What do these have been equal to when we plug it into the quadratic formula? 0. Minus 2 minus 2. So I get x squared minus 2x minus 2 equals 0. Can I combine negative 2x and negative 2 together? No, one of them has an x attached. They're not like terms. Waiting.
Why did you put positive 2 on the negative 2?
Because you subtracted.
I had to subtract it here. So those cancel out to give me 0. All right. So we know that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Strip, this is going on in my head. Stop. I know. A is 1. B is negative 2. C is
Negative 2.
also negative 2. We good? Anyone stuck? All right.
Positive 2.
X equals negative negative 2, which is positive 2, plus or minus negative 2 squared. Again, I'm putting that in parentheses just so our device doesn't make an error. 4 times A times C all over 2 times A. I don't have to put those ones. I agree with you. All right, negative negative 2, positive 2, plus or minus negative 2 quantity squared, positive 4. Negative 4 times 1, negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 2. Positive 8. Guess I didn't need it as big as a radical sign. Okay. All over 2 times 1, which is 2, which gives me 2 plus or minus root 12 over 2. Hey, we worked with root 12. I know root 12 breaks down to root 4 times 3, which is what? What's root 4 plus 3? 2 root 3. So I'm going to replace root 12. I'm replacing root 12 with 2 root 3. Agree? So I'm still going to get 2 plus or minus. It's no longer root 12. It's 2 root 3 over 2.
You just take away the 2's.
Yeah, the 2's are going to go bye-bye. They're all outside. I got a 2, a 2, and a 2. 2 goes into itself, leaving us 1 behind. So it goes 1, that's a 1, that's a 1. So I wind up with 1 plus or minus square root 3. That's my answer. My friends, I can assure you, practice, practice, practice will make you know this. Blessing you. Watch out if you're using your calculator. If you plug a negative in to square it, watch out. You know it's going to be positive, even though your calculator says, no, it's negative. Okay, next problem on the page. Oh, boy. So here's a quick question for you on this problem. Should I subtract 2x squared and bring it over here, or should I subtract 24x and add 33 and bring it over there?
Either way works.
Either way works. It's your choice. I would choose to move one thing rather than two things. Does that make sense? I only have to move 2x squared. That's only one thing. If I move both of these over to that side, I have to move two things. I don't want to do that much work. So I'm going to go minus 2x squared, minus 2x squared. So that gives me negative 2x squared plus 24x. Wait, where'd that plus come from? There wasn't a sign in front of 24x, so it's got to be positive. Equals 0. A-okay? All right. We know that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Oops. The more and more you write it down, the more and more you will have it known. I can tell you I will always give you this problem, this equation, but I cannot guarantee later math classes. So you walk into geometry and like, all right, use the quadratic formula, and you're like, oh, I don't remember it. Well, geometry is expecting me to tell you to learn it. Geometry knows that I go put it on each and every problem. You might have been the one that chose not to. Like, I don't want to waste a pencil that I got 55 text and Insta Facebook chats to do. Okay? Oh, write it down. Get it down. A equals what? No. Negative 2. B equals. C equals. Negative 33. Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. X equals negative 24. But it was positive 24 originally. But
B was 24.
My negative b means I'll do the opposite of it. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 24 squared, minus 4ac all over 2a. How am I supposed to do 24 squared? I don't know. I think you might have a calculator. Somebody check on your phone. What is 24 times 24? 576. Oh, thank you. Is it? Is it 24 squared? 576? Come on, look on your phone. Do it. 24 times 24, or 24. I got it? Yay. All right, I might need a little help. Keep your phone out. So, friends, I got negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Positive 8 times negative 33. What's 8 times negative 33? Help me.
Positive, it's a negative.
What? 264? All over negative 4. Agree? I don't know. I got calculators you can borrow. They handle it pretty quickly. Cool? No, but if you want to do just basic arithmetic, right? Like underneath the radical, you could use a calculator to get that. And then, yeah, I don't want the square root of, 65. I want to leave it as root 65. 576 minus 264. Still got your phones out? 7. How much? 312?
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Oh boy, I got 312. How can I do a problem that big? I don't know. Let's break 312 down. 312. You still have your calculators or phones? Does 4 go into it? Check. 312 divided by 4. 78. So I got 4 times 78. 2 goes into 78 39 times. Is it 39? Yeah, 39. 39. 3 and 13. Okay. What can you guarantee me about 2, 3, and 13?
They're gonna say
They are what kind of numbers?
they are not perfect squares.
They are not perfect squares. They're actually all prime numbers, so I can't break them down. But because you had an excellent teacher in the past, present teacher, I can't say anything about.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Could you break down into 1 plus 1?
I would not know. I wouldn't. Square root of 4 is what? 2. So this is going to give me negative 24 plus or minus 2.
Square root 78.
Agree? Okay, so friends, all of these numbers outside.
You can break them down by 4.
4 goes into 2?
And break them down by 2.
2. Yeah, it happens. You got a beautiful mind. It's thinking well. I like it. Oh, come on. Do what I want you to do. Next page. There we go. So, 2 goes into this. Go to a different color. 2 goes into this twice. 2 goes into that once. 2 goes into negative 24, negative 12 times. So my answer, my friends, is negative 12 plus or minus root 78 all over negative 2. That's what x is equal to. So friends, formula works nicely. You have to apply the radical knowledge that you've had that we've been going over. Yeah. Ooh. So you want to try and have the 12 and 2 reduce? I think that's a great idea. Unfortunately, in front of the radical sign, I don't have a number. I mean, I have 1, but I don't have.
And you can break down 1.
Right, 1 wouldn't reduce at all with that. So I like your thought process on that, but if there was not a number that would reduce in front of the radical sign, it's not going to happen. But great thought. I like that. All right, where are we at? Got that? Holy moly guacamole. Oh, wow. Do I really need to go over these? Oh, wait. So I think you're okay with this one. It's the same idea. Well, let's look at this one real quick. I have a 1 out front. I have A equals 1. C equals negative 25. What is B equal? B is 0. There's not an exit term there. Well, will that work with the quadratic formula? I don't know. Let's see. X is equal to negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A.
You just get rid of
X equals, oh, no, negative 0 is what? 0.
That's such thing as negative 0.
Right. 0 squared minus 4AC all over 2A. So negative 0 is just 0, plus or minus 0 squared. Okay, hang on. 0 squared is 0. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 25 is plus 100.
Which breaks down at 1 times 10.
Yes, it does. So 0 added to 100 this week is 100. What's the square root of 100, my friends? 10? 0 plus or minus 10 root 2. Wait, where'd the square root go? I took the square root of 100. Okay. 2, I realize, doesn't go into 0. But what is 0 over 2? 0 plus or minus. 2 goes into 10. Okay, so 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. There's my answers. So this parabola, we cross at positive 5 and negative 5. I guess positive 5 and negative 5 in your direction. Wow. Okay. So my friends, I gave you 2 problems. Why don't we say we do SQE number 11, and we're going to go 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. Okay, that's all I have. Does anyone need a picture of that? If so, come on. I don't have